What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I want to give you guys some quick Atlanta Falcons news, and then I also want to talk about quarterback Trey Lance. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content or Cleveland Cavaliers content. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys for continuing to tune into the channel. We are currently on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're about 70 subscribers away. So I really appreciate you guys sharing out my content on all the social media platforms. Definitely continuing to tell your friends and family about the channel. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So in Atlanta Falcons news, today the Falcons re-signed Jaden Graham. He is our backup tight end. Jaden Graham is a very athletic tight end. I like this signing for our Atlanta Falcons. He's another guy not only that plays the backup tight end role for our team, but he's also a guy that we can use. We use on our special teams unit. So I definitely think that re-signing Jaden Graham was a very smart move by our Atlanta Falcons. To me, Jaden Graham didn't get enough opportunities last year in Dirk Cutter's offense. I believe we played Luke Stalker at that second tight end role. Him and Hayden Hurst got most of the snaps on the offensive side of the ball. But I do believe that was a mistake by Dirk Cutter and our Atlanta Falcons. I do feel like Jaden Graham is a better all-around player than a Luke Stalker. And I really think that Jaden Graham should have got more playing time last season. So far, I like what Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith are doing. It looks like they're doing a good job of going back and reviewing the tape of these players that were currently on the roster. And if you go back and watch the tape on Jaden Graham, he is one of those guys in 2019, which was 2 seasons ago, that filled in really well for Austin Hooper, who got injured in 2019 for a couple games. And Jaden Graham ended up playing the starting tight end role for a couple games. And he played very well. He had a touchdown, I believe it was in the Thanksgiving night game against the New Orleans Saints. But he's a very athletic tight end. I do think that Arthur Smith is going to be able to scheme him open in some of the 2 tight end sets. And I do think that Jaden Graham is going to get more snaps in this offense that Arthur Smith runs with these 2 tight ends or multiple tight end sets. And I do like the signing of a player like Jaden Graham. So I'm glad to see him back with our Atlanta Falcons. Like I said, not only is he a guy that you can use on the offensive side of the ball as a blocker and out catching passes, but you also can use him on special teams. So I really like what Terry Fontenot is doing so far with the guys that he's brought back. As far as these players that we can get on cheap deals due to us being in the cap situation that we're in, we need players that can play multiple positions, play special teams, and guys that are utility guys that can do a multitude of things and play a multitude of roles on the team. So I do think that Terry Fontenot so far is doing a good job for as far as the players that he's brought back, the young players that he's re-signed. But with that being said, I also wanted to talk a little bit about Jake Matthews. He actually re-signed or actually restructured, his deal with the Atlanta Falcons today. And they basically just gave him a signing bonus so that we can try to get that cap number down. And he is our left tackle. Jake Matthews is the left tackle for our Atlanta Falcons. He's still a player that is playing at a very high level. And I do believe that this was also a good move by Terry Fontenot in the front office of trying to get this cap number down. So I do believe it's a lot more moves coming as far as restructuring some guys. I believe Dante Fowler is one of those guys they may try to restructure. I don't know if they can restructure a guy like Matt Ryan again because they've already restructured his deal a couple times, him and Julio Jones. But they may be able to restructure a player like Grady Jarrett as well to try to create more cap space. But so far, so good. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of this front office so far with Terry Fontenot, Arthur Smith. I think these guys are doing a pretty good job so far in this short period of free agency, the early stages of free agency, trying to clear up some space This coming week is when free agency will break. I believe it's March 17th, if I'm not mistaken, is the day that free agency will open up, where we can actually sign, players other than our players that are currently on our roster. So I'm really interested to see what players we go after this coming week. I expect it to be a very busy week with players restructuring, players being cut, and players being re-signed. But so far, I'm liking the young guys that we've brought back. Now, I also want to talk about in this video Trey Lance. He is the quarterback prospect out of North Dakota State. He is one of the top quarterbacks in this upcoming draft class. And today he did have his pro day. And I got to see some clips of his pro day, and I was really impressed. Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot did attend the pro day for Trey Lance. And he is a really big kid, 6'4", about 225 pounds to 230 pounds. But he looked really good in the pro day today. Very strong arm. Kind of puts me in the mind of a player like Carson Wentz, another guy who played at North Dakota State, ironically. And just looking at the pro day today of Trey Lance, he looked really, really good. Very accurate on his throws. Very strong arm, made all of the throws, can throw outside the numbers. And I was really, really impressed with this kid. Now, so if we decide to go quarterback in this upcoming draft at that number 4 spot, I do believe that the Falcons will take either Trey Lance or Justin Fields. Personally, just how Arthur Smith was looking at the pro day, it looked like he really enjoyed the pro day. He really enjoyed watching a player like Trey Lance, and it looked like he was really impressed with the kid. So I definitely think that Trey Lance could be a player that could be on the Falcons' radar. Like I said, I was really impressed with what I saw from him. Now, I don't want to take it overboard because it's just a pro day. He was out there in shorts and a tank top, kind of like the combine. There was nobody covering the wide receivers, and basically it was no pass rush. It basically was just in a controlled environment. So you have to be very careful when it comes to these pro days. So I'm not trying to, act like he was the best thing since sliced bread. I have seen better quarterbacks have better pro days, but I was really impressed from what I saw. As I've mentioned on my draft board, as far as quarterbacks, if the Falcons were going to take a quarterback, I have it listed as Trevor Lawrence as the number 1 quarterback in this draft class. Then I have Justin Fields. Then I have Trey Lance, and then I have Zach Wilson. Those are my top 4 to 5 quarterbacks and how I have them listed on my draft board. I know a lot of people are going to be shocked because Zach Wilson is the hot name out there. The Mel Kiper Jr.'s of the world and, the Todd McShays of the world are really pushing for Zach Wilson to be the second quarterback taken in this draft. Personally, I just don't believe that Zach Wilson has the size to be one of those quarterbacks. Now, don't get me wrong. I do think that Zach Wilson could turn out to be a solid NFL quarterback. I just think that Trey Lance and Justin Fields, I think that those guys will have better NFL careers than a player like Zach Wilson. Now, I could be wrong, but like I was saying, I do believe that Justin Fields, Trey Lance are the guys, if the Falcons were to take a quarterback, that I would go with personally. And I've talked about it before when it comes to why I would like to have Justin Fields or Trey Lance as our quarterback if we decide to go with a quarterback at number 4 and not go with a Zach Wilson. Mainly it's because I think that they will fit Arthur Smith's scheme better. Trey Lance and Justin Fields are guys that are kind of built like a Ryan Tannehill, Marcus Mariota types that Arthur Smith coached there in Tennessee with the, quarterback keepers and things of that nature that I believe Arthur Smith, a head coach and an offensive mind like Arthur Smith, could really unlock the dual threat capabilities of a player like Trey Lance and a player like Zach Wilson, not Zach Wilson, but Justin Fields. I think he could unlock that Russell Wilson type, Lamar Jackson type style of play from the quarterback position. Because I do believe that Justin Fields and Trey Lance, both of those guys have that athletic ability to not only throw the ball down the field, but I do think that they also can create plays with their legs and extend plays with their legs. And I wasn't too impressed when I watched Zach Wilson's tape. I do think that he can make all of the throws in the NFL. I just think he doesn't have that prototypical size. And that doesn't mean that he couldn't be a good quarterback in the league, or he's not going to be a good quarterback in the league, because Russell Wilson and Baker Mayfield and those guys, they're not the biggest of guys either. They're on the smaller side as well. Drew Brees was another quarterback that was undersized. But if I had to take a quarterback at number 4 and all of those quarterbacks are at my disposal, I'm going to go with the bigger, stronger quarterback, the more athletic quarterback that can make all of the throws, if I can have all of it in one package. I do think, like I said, that Zach Wilson could have some success in this league. I just think that Trey Lance and Justin Fields have the God-given, more God-given abilities as far as size and the physical attributes of playing the NFL quarterback in this league. So I definitely think Trey Lance, he reminds me kind of a Carson Wentz style quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, just a little bit more athletic than a Ben Roethlisberger. But if you remember early in Ben Roethlisberger's career with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he was a quarterback that was a lot more mobile than he is now. So I do think that Trey Lance, I don't think that he has the speed of a Lamar Jackson, but I do think that he has that size, and he could possibly be mobile like a Donovan McNabb type from the Philadelphia Eagles. That's who he kind of puts me in their mind of. So I do think that the Falcons are going to strongly consider, if no team is willing to trade up and take those quarterbacks, I do think that Terry Fontenot is going to do their due diligence. I don't think them going to the pro day means that the Falcons are going to definitely draft Trey Lance, but I definitely think that they're going to do their due diligence. They also went to Trevor Lawrence's pro day as well. And I'm not too sure if Justin Fields is having a pro day, but if he does have a pro day, I'm pretty sure that the Falcons, Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith possibly will attend that as well, because they want to see these guys up close and personal. Due to COVID and the restrictions nowadays, you're not going to have a ton of tape on these guys, because Trey Lance, a knock on him is he only played pretty much one full season as a starter in college. So that's one of the knocks on Trey Lance, is that he doesn't have a ton of experience as far as a starting quarterback on the collegiate level. And that could be, one of the things that deters some of these teams from taking him, even like the Falcons. That could deter us from taking him. So I think, like I said, this front office is going to do, their due diligence and go see all of these guys up close and personal if they can get out to these pro days. But I was really impressed with Trey Lance. I do think he could be one of those guys that's, built and can play just like Steve McNair, Donovan McNabb, Carson Wentz, Ben Roethlisberger type. That's what he puts me in the mind of. Strong arm, can throw the ball down the field, can make all of the throws. Now, if we do take a guy like Trey Lance, I think another thing he could benefit from is sitting behind a veteran quarterback like a Matt Ryan, because Trey Lance, I don't think, is a guy that's going to be ready from day one to come out and play. But I think if you have him sitting behind a player like Matt Ryan, he can soak up all of that knowledge from that veteran quarterback. Matt Ryan is one of the smartest quarterbacks in the game, one of the most professional quarterbacks in the game. And he definitely could teach Trey Lance how to be a professional. He can teach him how to prepare during the week for games. And I also think a lot of things that a lot of fans for our Atlanta Falcons, one thing that we're overlooking is, God forbid, if something happens to Matt Ryan during the season, because Matt Ryan has kind of been an Iron Man. He hasn't went down with a serious injury his whole career. But I think one advantage we could have if we do go with Justin Fields or Trey Lance, with that number 4 pick is, God forbid, if something happens to a Matt Ryan, you do have a quarterback that you can plug and play, and you'll have a guy that's capable. I know a lot of people are talking about the Falcons signing like one of these veteran guys that's really not a threat to Matt Ryan, like a Ryan Fitzpatrick, or maybe one of these other guys that are journeyman quarterbacks that possibly could come in and fill in for Matt Ryan. But if you were to, take one of these younger guys, you could hit the ground running. God forbid if something happened to a Matt Ryan, a la to what happened between Tony Romo when he went down with that pretty much that season-ending injury, that back injury he had in the preseason against the Seahawks. And that's how Dak Prescott actually was able to, get his opportunity to become the starter. So you never know, what could happen. So I really feel like having that backup quarterback could be a benefit. And that's just to play the devil's advocate. As you know, I've been saying pretty much all offseason that I don't want the Falcons to take a quarterback because I do believe we have other needs we need to fill on the defensive side of the ball. But if we decided to go quarterback, that could be one of the benefits of going quarterback is, God forbid, if something happens to Matt Ryan or he does get injured, knock on wood, you would have somebody that can come right in and possibly take over the reins, and you won't have a huge dip as far as quarterback play. But with that being said, you guys let me know what you think of the video. Do you think the Falcons should draft Trey Lance? Do you like Trey Lance as a quarterback prospect? Or tell me which quarterback out of these quarterbacks that are currently coming out that you actually would want the Falcons to draft. If we go quarterback at 4, do you want Justin Fields? Do you want Trey Lance? Do you like Zach Wilson or one of the other quarterbacks like a Mac Jones out of Alabama? It's a lot of different quarterbacks in this draft. But with that being said, this been your boy Jew. I'll holler at you guys in the next video. I'm going to continue to bring you guys the best Atlanta Falcons content, continue to bring you all the updates. So definitely stay tuned to the channel. If you haven't hit that subscribe button already, definitely please hit that subscribe button for your boy. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Continue to share out my content, and I'll holler at you guys in the next video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. Peace.